what is the basic idea of blue ocean? And you're right, it's really been taking industry by storm. This tool, it's been a blockbuster success, I would say. So think about the visual, Charles. It's like a vast open sea. Like anybody thinking of a blue ocean, all of a sudden you're relaxed. This is great. And it's untapped opportunities, right? Sailing into that sea. It's a great metaphor, right? And what the blue ocean is really about is creating these new market spaces where there's no competition. The competition is irrelevant because they're not there, right? And they kind of contrast that with the red ocean, which just imagine that metaphor. And I love that they use metaphors. It's a great way to learn strategy is the metaphor. So the red ocean is where, the sharks are swimming, right? And it's kind of bloody from getting torn out. So that's the idea of a blue ocean strategy is it's getting in those uncontested spaces and just think of that relaxation. That's where you want to be. But how do you get there? And the thing I love about the blue ocean, Charles, and we can't break it all down today. We can talk about some of the details, but it really is a bit of a methodology. It's like it's not like, okay, you gotta be Elon Musk to come up this blue ocean. No, no, no. Here's some ways to get there. Here's some questions you need to ask.
You're right. And it has different parts of it. One part that I really enjoy is the eliminate, reduce, raise, or create phase, where companies are advised to analyze their existing products and services and make strategic decisions regarding of what to eliminate, reduce, raise their investment on, or create to deliver more value to their customers. And that's something everyone can do regardless of the role they're in that strategic thinking process. So why don't we now look at this blue ocean strategy? Because it's really tough to create. It's the ideal. Many companies would like to say that they're getting closer to it, but very few, in my opinion, have succeeded in creating it. One of those, I think is Cirque du Soleil, which is the Canadian
Mhm.
entertainment company founded in 1984. It gained global recognition for its unique blend of circus acts and theater. If you go to Las Vegas, I think the majority, if not all of the shows, are now Cirque du Soleil shows. The success of it can be attributed to its effective implementation of the blue ocean strategy, which allowed it to create a new market space and differentiate itself from traditional circuses. So, provide us some more detail on this company and how it's really utilized the blue ocean strategy.
Yeah, no, I love this. Of course, it's my hometown. Montreal is where this started. And, it's really interesting. They combined elements of different industries. And that's where you create a new industry when you're taking a bit from this industry and a bit from that and cobbling it together. So basically, I would say they really combined the circus atmosphere, right? The circus that elements of the circus, not everything, and then theater, right? And then theater has more this connotation of like the big themes, maybe the costumes, the sort of more artistic side, right? And the circus has more that kind of wow factor and getting you, out of your everyday life into seeing, tricks and seeing people, take some, leaps on the trapeze and all that kind of thing. And putting those two together, nobody had done it before. And, when you talk about that reduce and eliminate model and then the create, which is really important, they eliminated, for example, animals, right? And of course, we know what happened with the Ringling Brothers and the elephants and all that. Like society moved on and we didn't want to see animals treated that way. But it's even bigger than that. It creates a whole logistics problem. It locks you into a certain thing. They're like, we're not going there. We're just not going to do it. Now that, Charles, is probably the hardest thing to do is say, we're just not doing that. And companies are afraid to do that because they're like, well, that's a necessary bar for competition, that sort of benchmarking approach. Like, here's the benchmark of the industry. But if you want to do blue ocean, you have to be willing to let go of things. And there's a cognitive bias that we talk about, which is loss aversion. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but there's a whole long list of our biases, and they're worth studying when you do strategy because you can be subject to them quite easily. And so loss aversion is people don't want to give up something they have, right? So let's say I give you a cup and it's worth $1, and I say, Charles, give me back that cup. I'll give you $5, right? So logically, you could get 5 cups, with that $5, but you're like, nope, I got this. And that's loss aversion. Once you have something, so industries don't want to give something up because they think, well, that's necessary. And the blue ocean strategy, you're really willing to do that, but you're you're willing to add stuff, right? And that's so the money and the time that you take away from the things that you're reducing and eliminating allows you to spend that money, time, energy on the new stuff. And so this completely new form of entertainment, I mean, you could call, it's like a Picasso of the entertainment world, right? Cirque du Soleil. It's like a wow factor. And you mentioned Vegas. I mean, Vegas is always looking for something that's going to get people to pay that high ticket price. But people feel like they're getting the value out of Cirque du Soleil because it's so original. So I think, they eliminated things like, concessions, comedians, clowns, the animals, but then they added, the themes, the artistic themes, each show has its own theme, and they just ran with that. Now, like any company, they ran into some problems just before the pandemic and obviously during the pandemic, but they have come out of that again, and they're sticking to that blue ocean strategy, and it's working well for them.
One strategy is really about trade-offs, and it's choosing what not to do. So I love that approach with what are you going to eliminate and reduce, because you can't do it all effectively. And you're right, they eliminated animals, they reduced the reliance on star performers, creating a more collaborative ensemble-based show so that they could raise the stakes and create something brand new. The production value of the shows took it to unprecedented levels, created new market space by combining elements of theater, circus arts, and live entertainment. And they really captured a lot more of the market, or a new market for that, because they took advantage of merchandise sales, licensing agreements, and resident shows in major cities, since it wasn't in a tent that got moved from city to city. It was in a permanent venue. So a lot of great things in what they did, but just really emphasizing that point that a lot of strategies about trade-offs and agreeing not to do certain things.